Hello again, everyone. We are starting off today with Sif, yet again. I decided to kind of cut out the run back that I did, just because it takes a little while. If I keep failing at this, I'm probably going to keep cutting out that run back. But, forgot to apply my buffs. Oh well. This fight really, it's not the most difficult. I shouldn't need the buffs. It would just make things go a little bit quicker. So our first order of business is actually going to be to try and retrieve our souls, which may or may not be a fool's errand. But there we go. We got them back. I mean, it's 5 grand, so it's not a ton that we're missing, but it's still something. So basically, what I like to do in this fight is I try and avoid. Basically, there's one attack that I look for that I can punish, which is the one that he's doing right now. Usually, I try and roll in after the second attack. So right here, you can get a roll in and under. But, I don't know, depending on how he's feeling that day, it can be a little tricky to do. So I'm just going to try and punish on his upward swing from that instead. Just running in. Shit. Running in right then. Unfortunately, I had a bit of issues with the buttons, so that's never good. If he swings his head the other way, that's generally... Not generally, that's always him signaling that attack. That attack takes out a ton of stamina if it connects, so we are staying far away from him whenever he does that. Now you'll see he's actually getting some pretty good chip damage against us, which is going to be unfortunate. This is one of the rare instances I think we'll see where that 5% bleed from the grass crest is a bit of a liability, but overall it shouldn't be that much of a problem. As you can see, he's giving us... Shoot! He's giving us a lot of openings to heal ourselves. Whew! Almost got a wombo combo on us. That's alright, we're doing pretty good. Got half of his health gone. You can actually, if you have a good overhead arc, like this weapon does, you can pressure him by moving forward, and he generally, his response is pretty much to back away. So you can get in a cheap hit or two on him with that. Obviously, you can't rely on it too much. That was a golden opportunity at his belly, but just totally whiffed both times. So, looks like this fight's going better than last time. Still a little bit concerned. He's able to do a lot of damage to us if he connects. But pretty soon we should have him injured. This is one of the few bosses that gets battle damage as the fight goes on. If I could ever land a hit on him. Alright, there's 1, there's 2, and then we're just going to rush in. There's his 3. And a lot of times it can be difficult to hit where you want to on this boss, just because the legs make for a pretty small target. Fortunately, we've got a weapon that has a nice arc, nice vertical arc, so we're able to get him pretty much in the belly. So that's helping us out. That's doing us a lot of favors right here. And there we go. I am so sorry, old friend. So very, very sorry. So that completes our Anne Orlando checklist. Now, I'm going to wait for the souls to pop. There we go. And then we are going to homeward bone back to the bonfire. Alright, so that felt good. Definitely redeemed myself after that embarrassment at the end of the last episode. So we're going to pump some points. Again, I'm thinking mostly going to go with endurance, probably 2-to-1 endurance to health. We really shouldn't need any other stats the way that we are right now, so that'll be fine. 15,000 to the next level, so quite a ways to go. Let's see. Just trying to debate the fastest way back to Firelink. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. I was thinking the shortcut through the Valley of the Drakes might not be that bad, but this one's a little bit more stable, secure, let's say. So we're gonna go with that instead. Oh, actually, we didn't want to even go to Firelink. We want to go to where Andre is. Andre 3000, Bombs Over Baghdad. Good song. So, just going to do a bit of a run back. It's always boring to talk about. I think I saw today that the official release date for Dark Souls 2 is going to be in March of next year sometime, which I'm kind of sad because it's a bit of a wait, but that game is going to be quality. I do not have any doubts about it. I'm worried that it doesn't hold up to the original Dark Souls. I've actually never played Demon Souls myself, so I can't speak to that. But I love this game. I love this game so much. So pretty much they don't just have to make a great game. If they make a great game and that's successful, that's awesome. But what they have to do to me is they have to make a game that's worthy of being a sequel to this. And it's so much piece of candy. It's so much better. Ooh, toxic piece of candy. It's so much harder to follow up a game that somebody loves as opposed to just making a good game. Like, I mean, looking at BioShock 2, maybe not the best example, but it was a solid game, had good gameplay, decent story, but at the end of the day, BioShock 1 was just, it was something else, and it just felt like it was piggybacking off of it, not accomplishing anything on its own. So I think, I worry about Dark Souls 2 being perceived as a lesser game because it has to live up to the reputation of this one. But from the footage that I've seen of it, it looks like it's coming along pretty solid right now, adding in a lot of ideas, taking out a lot of ones that didn't work. So hopefully it's for the best. I am planning on doing the same thing I am doing here with that game, except for totally blind. Should be quite the experience. I had a lot of help on this game the first time around. I turned to the internet, went through a lot of different guides and FAQs. Oh, that is no good. So we're just gonna run past them. Not even gonna try and deal with that. Actually, I don't know if I have the last large shard, so well, we can fix that. We can fix that. We just need a little bit of souls. So we'll get started with this guy, because I believe that the Crestfallen Merchant up where we're headed actually sells large shards. I think it's for like 4,000 souls or something ridiculous like that. So as long as we take out a few of these guys on our way up, then we should be able to get that from them. So we plan on doing that. That'll let us get our shield to +10, which will let us turn into the Great Shield of Artorias, which will let our build become officially bananas. I've never not seen that guy there, so that has me kind of concerned. Oh well. Here we are again at the top. Unfortunately, we will have to do a little bit of running around just to get that last shard. Actually, I think there's one on the ground that we never went down to explore. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and see if that is the case. Not going to pick up the sniper crossbow here. I definitely could. I don't want to take the fall damage from that height. I'll take this one all day though. So let's see. That would be around this way. We don't have to worry about the fire bombs this time around, which is nifty. Helps out a little bit in running back. Wonder if that was the serpent that we were wondering where he was. Probably not, but ooh, you picked a bad time to turn around, buddy. Oh sure, a small Titanite shard. Rub it in my face, why don't you? And also the boulder shield, which is nice. Actually, I may resort to using that when we're grinding out souls in Anor Londo. Mostly because, excuse me. Mostly because being able to parry the Silver Knights is really nice. I'm sure that our damage output is going to be good enough where we don't have to worry about it with this weapon. But that's the only downside to the Great Shield, is that it cannot parry. So it looks like we might have to see if our friend sells it. If not, I think the giant Anor Londo sells it, so we should be fine with him as well. Which actually then I guess doesn't make a difference if we do it here or there. This is just if we want to make sure that we have it now. But might as well. I'm amazed. If I were off camera, I would miss that jump so many times. Blah blah blah, I hate you because you're a filthy dirty hollow. And yeah, 4,000 souls for it.
Go along, try and make something of it.
Okay. Bit of highway robbery later, and we are free to return. Well, alright. And now finally, we can make the trip to the scum-infested hellhole known as Anor Londo. I think, out of all the places in the game, that is the only place that still concerns me. Like, everywhere else I'm fine dealing with, but The archers that are up there, not as bad as they used to be, but still a bit of a pain, can be tricky. The cathedral, I know that I will fall in there, probably once while fighting the painting guardians. I mean, this weapon, it'll kill them in one hit, but might have a bit too much of a reach to prevent me from falling down with them. And then we have, of course, Ornstein and Smo, and I'm actually not that worried about them. I've been finding that as long as I have a great shield, they're pretty easy to solo. Basically, against all logic, you just really want to get in their face. If you can position the fat one next to the skinny one, get Abbott next to Costello, however it works, I don't know, then it's pretty easy. Just wait for Ornstein to make an attack, and then you can just follow up with a punish on Smo. As soon as he's down, then really you just have to run at Ornstein's ankle. Fight pretty much takes care of itself from there, so it's not that bad. So again, just before we head over, we'll set our spawn over here. Our 2 humanity is going to be what lets us get invaded as soon as we get into the cathedral. It's usually, anytime that you step foot, that's the other thing about this city that makes it suck so much, is that this is a hot spot for invasions. So as soon as you set foot in cathedral and you're like, finally, I can kindle this bonfire, you get invaded right away. It's like 10 seconds tops. So pretty much you have to kindle as soon as you are turned back human. I've had it at the moment where I turned human that there's already somebody waiting for me. Speaking of which, we've got a gargoyle waiting for us below, so I'm going to go ahead and buff our weapon up just to make fighting with him a little bit easier. Do some fighting around the world. Hey, guess what? There goes your tail. Oh, didn't break off. I'm shocked. Shocked and moderately annoyed. We got a stagger with our big ol' axe swagger. So there we go. Gargoyle helm. I could pick up the Demon Titanite over here, but I don't really see a reason for it. I mean, I don't think we're going to be using any boss weapons, so it's not really going to be helpful for us at all in this run. And we're going to do a little jump. Perfect. It's the first of 7 tricky things to do here. That guy's going to come down, and he's just going to get his face rocked. I have to try not to swear as much as I would casually. I don't really mind like swearing. I'm not going to be like, ooh, you shouldn't swear in front of the kiddos, you know, stuff like that. But I try and keep a persona going. I like to be a little bit family friendly at any rate. PG-13. Like to go Austin Powers if I can. Yeah, PG-13, not R. Childish jokes. It's not about me making a butt joke, but don't want to make a living off of it. Alright, this is where things are going to get painful. Because I am not the best at parrying these guys, and you do not have a lot of room to work with here. So pretty much, just going to hope that this bash hits him, which it didn't. You can also hope for deflection off the shield, which, if you are using the banded iron shield that you can get from Shiva, then that becomes much easier. Everything bounces off that. Because we're in dangerous place, might as well heal up. Alright. We're just going to try and get him to come and fight us over here. See if we can't get... There we go. That was what we wanted to do last time. Get some more knives. The throwing knives actually have a pretty good use in this game. Well, in this area. Because you can use them to track Priscilla when she's invisible. Otherwise, they are pretty much garbage. I mean, you might be able to pull the rare aggro from them, but besides that, I mean, there's not a lot you can do with them. And against all odds, overcoming diversity, we have triumphed. And we have further unlocked our way into the heart of this hellhole. Can you tell I'm excited? I just got a lot of positive energy about this place. It's gonna be good. Alright, so then we are going to lower this, and then we are going to buff our weapon again, because we're going to have to fight another gargoyle. Get that buff. Now you can kind of fight him down here, and that makes some of his attacks just go right overhead. Like that. It does make him a little bit trickier for you to hit on the other end, though, so It's all personal preference. There we go. And because we're being OCD, we'll heal up. It's so sad seeing that I have 8,000 souls because they are going to be gone. Now, what you can do if you're really paranoid is you can basically strip down naked, try and run through that way. It makes it a little bit easier to get past the knights up here and the gargoyles that are going to be blocking our way. But, on the other hand, our weapon weighs 22 pounds and we aren't going anywhere without it. So, we're just going to have to learn to live with it. So I'm not sure if I'm at the point where I can really, throw out the esoteric references, but... Oh, jeez. I got stabbed. I usually expect that. The stone armor helps. That can be a lot more deadly otherwise. Got stabbed again. But I was saying, strange references. So Weird Al did a song a while back that was Got a Boogie. One of the lines was, I guess I'll just have to live with it. That's what I thought of when I said that. Anyone out there who's got Weird Al love, much love back to you. Anyone out there who's got Archer love, these guys, not the show. The show's fantastic. These guys, though, can eat all the dicks. Alright, so we will wait for him to fire, do a little rolly roll, and he is going to knock us off. Ah, that's annoying. That is definitely annoying. Now, I think there's a personal preference on where you set your spawn for this. I know a lot of people go with the center platform. I'm against it. I don't like rotating it and waiting for it to come up. I mean, this way's probably longer, but I feel like I'm more in charge of it, except for this platform. I don't like having to wait for the cutscene to load. I like being able to run around, feel the air blowing through my head sack. You know, the usual stuff. Now, I also think that they kind of changed the way that these archers work. Because I remember previously, you could run right up to the one that I was just fighting off against. If you run right up to him, he would aggro, and then if you ran back down the steps, he would just jump to his death. However, lately I haven't been able to do that, so I think they might have changed the AI, like patched that out, so you actually have to fight them. Which, if they did, that's kind of a dickish move. I think they changed a lot of the other things in the game. If I remember right, the gargoyle fight, the bell tower gargoyles, used to have full health when the second one showed up, so you had to actually fight through two of them. And that was no fun. That was a bad time. I also remember the first time I was fighting them. First time playing this game, and I was trying to play through without a guide. I was like, I can do this. I got this. I'm that good of a gamer. And, I mean, I just proved right there, I'm not. But I was trying to fight through the gargoyles, and I didn't realize that Andre could strengthen your weapon, so I was going in with a +0 halberd, and I was just like, man, people weren't kidding, this game is rough. And I didn't know that you could kindle, so I was trying to take out 2 gargoyles at full health with a weapon that, it was dealing 0 damage to them. It was making the fight take like 10 minutes, just, oh Jesus. I am in a bad spot. I am in a bad spot. I got all of that. I got all of that. Man. But yeah, if you didn't know that you could reinforce your weapon, then you were in for a bad time with them. I was thinking that this game was so hard because of it, and I guess it was right. It's a fairly difficult game, but not that bad. So mad when I watch videos online. I'm like, how do these people have more than 5 Estus? They're cheating. They're cheating. But that's what makes it fun. You play and you learn. I'm probably not going to learn at all. Probably going to die in the exact same spot. Or I could die somewhere else. That'd be a good change of pace. I'm trying to think if more stone armor might be better. Because I've got a medium roll right now. I'm trading that for a fat roll help. I don't think it's going to matter. I think the extra defense that I get for it would basically be canceled out by the ability to roll. If I make it past all of these guys to the archers, then I'm pretty much good, but the archers will just knock me off. I mean, that's not... that's apparently a thing that they do. So we got stabbed in the same spot that time. Last time that happened, we got the archers, so here's hoping. Remember what I was saying? Remember how I was saying it was a shame we had 8,000 souls? Yeah, there you go. They're gone. I could pick up my amazing 0 souls, my inheritance right there. So wait for that one to hit, and then we will do our best to rush in. Hopefully we can get him to draw his sword, and hopefully we don't panic and get off a good parry. Are you kidding me right now? Come on, man. Come on. Silver Knight down. Alright. So with that, we have entered the cathedral. We are in the land of Christmas magic now. All we have to do is get to the bonfire without dying. What could possibly go wrong? Ah, just kidding. It's right here. And so Solaire, we'll chat him up. He's been real passive aggressive to me lately. For some reason, I haven't seen him here. I think I've been following, his quest line, but there isn't really much to say for it. But he just hasn't shown up. So, gonna use the remaining time just to go through all of the knights, unlock the level shortcut, get that going. That's something that happens a lot with those guys, where you can hit the parry, then they'll wind up hitting you anyway. It's kind of weird, but it happens. We can go downstairs, get Havel's gear. We could buff our weapon, but why? I mean, except for the basically damage E-penis, there's no real reason. We are killing these guys so dead. We will stop over here. A fake wall in Dark Souls? Whoa, mind blown. That's some Zelda stuff right there. So you can tell the Mimic in this room because it's not with any other chests, so we don't have to worry about this one. Don't have to worry about this one. Not sure if we'll sub out to Havel's gear at all. It's good, but I don't like using it. It's so blah. And we actually, if we put a couple more levels into strength, we could use the Great Shield. I think you need 50 for it, so it's not out of the options, but I think we'll decide not to. And there we go. That Mimic's down. Oh, was I one-handing that? Now that Occult Club is going to come handy for us later. The reason why is we are going to break it down into a Divine Club, and that's what we're going to use to go through the catacombs. It's so much easier with a Divine Weapon, I just don't even bother doing it any other way right now. Huh. I am hearing some moaning in here that I am not used to hearing. My setup right now has me wearing some pretty good quality headphones. And I don't know, I'm usually listening to a podcast, listening to some music while playing through this, so I miss some of the smaller details. Especially with headphones that are nice like the ones that I've got. Like, these are good dubstep headphones, basically. They've got pretty good quality, so I'm just not used to hearing it. Maybe it's that prowling demon, or I don't know. But as you can see, we are doing good damage, and we are still, again, at plus 10. So a ways to go as far as damage. You can also tell that we are getting a lot of souls in this area. This is my favorite spot in the game for grinding. So do not be surprised when we come back after this video and I'm about 5 to 10 levels higher. I think basically I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing, just pumping points into health and stamina. Probably more on the health side of things, because that's what's got me worried right now. With a better shield, we won't have to worry too much about taking hits. We are going to lose our stamina recharge from the Grass Crest shield. Now, that attack is actually one of the few attacks in this game that's unblockable. But you can see we still got him anyway. That guy's just generally a jerk. I mean, he's camping out, he's waiting for you. You know, it's some scrub maneuvers. Fortunately, that other archer hasn't seen us. Come on, do your little shield bash. World's waiting. And I actually recommend, I know I keep going on about this shield that I don't own, but the banded iron shield. If you're fighting these guys and you have that, it's actually kind of a pain because it stops their combos. Like, they get interrupted, they lose their train of thought. And they're like, no, I'm not going to complete that combo. So it becomes a lot more difficult to manage. I'm gonna go over that direction. I mean, well, I guess I should do it now. I'll just go ahead and do that now. So I can show me getting the Great Shield and be all like, ooh, la la, look at that. We'll probably just sub out for the Balder Shield, like I was saying before. Probably level it up a little bit. And, yeah, we'll come back for the shortcut after we're done with the shield. And again, it's just for the parrying. Parrying is really good in this area. This is the spot where if you've just been playing the game and you're not confident in your parrying skills, this is where you learn them. I mean, you can try and fight these guys normally, you can try and fish the backstabs, but parrying these guys feels good and it looks good, so just plan on that. I forget, I think it's going to cost us 10,000 souls to get this shield, but it is worth every single one of them. You'll see when we get it just how great it is. So here we have our giant. Yes. So we will get our shields plus 10. And then we will modify our equipment. You can see here. Oh, there we go. So we can do boss weapons. So we'll get the Great Shield of Artorias. Absolutely. Now we've got that. Could craft a Lightning Demon's Great Axe, but let's go ahead and pass on that for this time. That strength scaling is just going to be the bee's knees, as they say. Alright, so this is the Great Shield of Artorias. It weighs, let's see, 16 pounds. So we are officially in fat roll territory, so we might as well equip some more of the stone set. The reason that damage got through was these guys actually have some lightning damage on them, so just have to be mindful of that. But look at all that stamina. Look at all that stamina. Block for days. So get this just in case some dickhole invader decides to, you know, try and lock us out of something somewhere. I know what you're thinking. Are there really guys in Dark Souls who troll people? And I've heard a story or two, you know? Oh, this Great Axe is so good. So good. So, actually hit us through our shield. So there's the stagger, and there's the death. Get this guy. So, I am just going to do some grinding. Get some levels. Listen to some techno. I think I am going to go ahead and run over to where hopefully Siegmeyer is. And I'll show off that little tidbit and unlock the rest of the level shortcuts. See, like, I'm the kind of guy who you should like to have as a teacher, because when I say I'm going to go for half an hour, I really mean 28 minutes, but I suppose the extra 5 minutes of content won't hurt anyone. I was actually initially worried. I've been filling up my computer. I just built it back in January. Got a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and I was like, oh, that's going to be plenty. And then I finally had a gaming computer, so I downloaded everything on Steam. And I've been managing my games so hard. I filled up, I think, 300 gigabytes with games so far, and I could fill up easily another 300. So I was like, how am I going to capture any kind of video, you know? And then I found a 250 gigabyte external hard drive that I had. So I actually have it capturing to that instead. Oh, 29. Yeah, that's a reasonable amount of damage to expect, sure. And I can't parry, so this is going to take a while. Just die. There we go. Come on. There you go. And on a scale of 1 to 10, guess who's dead? Don't even care that doesn't make sense. Do not even care. Now the Silver Knight set is actually pretty good. Could be a contender for things that we would use for this, just because it would give us less weight than the stone set, I believe, and still some decent protection, so we might be able to swap out a few pieces of gear. But this Great Shield is what's going to be bringing us down. I mean, between the Great Shield, between our shield and our weapon, we have 35 pounds. So, or 16 or 13, I think it was 16, so 38 pounds, and we have about 100 pounds, so that's 12 pounds of armor. So it's basically like a chest plate. Yay! Actually, I don't feel confident in my ability. Oh, he's not here. What a jerk. Just abandoned us. I don't feel confident in my ability to take out these guys without using parries. They're a little bit tricky, just because you have to aggro them just right. Fighting one of these guys isn't a problem. Fighting two of them can be tricky. Fighting three of them is a death sentence. So we are going to try and avoid dying as much as we can. And I'm kind of curious just to see what happens if we apply a little buff. A little buffer. So let's see, there's a shield bash, and doesn't look like it's adding too much at all. Huh. That kind of sucks. So, alright. Well, I'm just going to be doing some running around in here, killing some fools, gaining some levels, so I'm just going to off-camera that. I'm just going to stop back at the bonfire, spend what I got, and then I think I will bid you guys adieu after that. So, let's run on back. Level up. We're just going to put this in Vitality, give us a little bit more. And I will see you guys next time around.